So we're back with another arcade pickup. This time, Pacman from 1980. Classic game, arguably one of the most recognizable arcade games in existence. When I saw it pop up, I was on the fence about picking it up because I have the Pac-Mania arcade, as most of you guys probably have seen. So I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. I did get my Missile Command and Hang On from the same seller, and he had it up for $100. It was completely empty, nothing in it, and I figured, you know what, for $100, why not have another project? So this is what I did. So my approach when it comes to arcade games and repairing them is obviously get a working game in the cabinet, but with this cabinet in particular, it has close to 42,000 plays on it. Something like that, I want to try to preserve the patina of the cabinet because I think that's a part of history. I mean, the side art, I know you can order new vinyl and redo all that. It's in pretty good condition for being close to 40, maybe even more than 40 years old. I have to do the math. So I don't want to lose that. It's only going to be original once. The speaker up here, I was trying to find an original Pac-Man speaker to put back into it because that one was all disintegrating. I wasn't able to find the exact one, so I just got an aftermarket speaker, and on my CNC I made mounting brackets that has the original bolt pattern for the Pac-Man speaker, and then you bolt the new speaker into that, and that's all hidden up in the cabinet. Put in a new light fixture. You could see all the metal I sanded down to get rid of the rust and repainted. A lot of the mold on the cabinet and parts where it's just black paint on the cabinet, I sanded that down and repainted it, cleaned it up, so aesthetically it looks very nice to approach and play, but it still has a lot of that patina and that history that I wanted to keep. It's running on a 16.1 right now. I don't have, or didn't have, a PCB to put into it, and it didn't come with a monitor either. So I was looking for a couple of months for a CRT and wasn't able to source one. I know everyone says just put in a CRT. They're getting significantly harder to find. I do have a stash of CRTs in my basement, but none the size for Pac-Man. So did the LCD route, and I think it worked out pretty well. Also, that bezel artwork on the glass, I got that printed up from Game On Graphics, I believe, and I think that came out pretty nice. So overall, I think the project came together fairly well. Playing it is a blast. It's actually ended up being one of my wife's favorite arcade projects that I've brought home recently. It kind of ignited the gamer in her again, because when I first started bringing home arcades, we would spend some time out in the garage or wherever and playing the games, and you kind of grow numb to that some 14, 15 arcades later, but this one was actually quite enjoyable for both of us. Because of that, I kind of assumed that I would be keeping it, and it fits in perfectly next to my Star Wars arcade. I recently had a party and some people over, and we were playing the arcades, and people were waiting to hop on Star Wars, and I didn't have Pac-Man done at the time, but it fits in perfectly there, and I was like, oh, it'd be nice if people could play Pac-Man while they wait for Star Wars. But I do have other cabinets that I'm working on, cutting out new pieces to replace parts that were water damaged and can't be salvaged. So I have other projects that I would like to have room for, and some other cabinets that have been popping up locally. So I actually ended up selling this Pac-Man, and it went to this great family. It seems like they're really gonna enjoy it and get a lot of use out of it. It was the kid's first arcade, so I'm happy to have passed it on to him, and hopefully he'll enjoy it, love it, and go further with the hobby.